Virgo, welcome back. We're here to do the update for your psychic energy. Anything I see for the moon, we're going to cover singles, couples, and twin flame, as well as your wellness report, your ascension report, so to speak. I'm going to have a quick drink of water, and we are going to get straight into the update for yours. This is a very important month for you, especially because it is very personal. We have Mercury, obviously, for those of us that do kind of know the transits, Mercury is going to be retrograding in both Virgo and Libra, and it's going to dip back into Virgo. You personally, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, where you're going, what you're doing, your routine, all of that's going to be changing. But also in the mix, you are having changes happening in your wealth sector, your money sector, your love life sector. And a lot of you can feel, okay, hang on a minute, where do I stand in the mix? Where do I stand in the mix of all of that? So, seeing. This is the first energy that's coming through. And it's funny because Pisces is the 12th house. For you individually, this is a circumstance where, I'll get a bit bigger so you can see me. There you go, dolls. It is the energy of dreams and perceptions and realities that we're looking at. And because it is making a hard aspect this month to Neptune, a lot of us from the logical point of view are going to want the devil in the detail, but we want it to sound pretty. We want the pretty story. We want the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but we want to see the image of it. We want to see the whole fruition of it. A lot of you, you can be very psychic at the moment. You can be very susceptible to energy with how it's coming for you. Some of you are wanting to see somebody as well. But you're tired of waiting to see. You want the pudding. You want the whole lot. You're tired of waiting, metaphorically speaking. It's funny because you may be privy to some information that you're really dissecting, because I'm noticing the statement piece that's written on the card, and it's perspective, truth, knowledge, and clarity, which does bring mind to me of Libra. You're trying to have the confidence to articulate what you need to say. I feel some of you may have felt to a degree with certain circumstances, and this would be more your opinion than, and I don't think, could you be critiquing yourself? Yes, but you're coming from a loving place. So because you're logical, you don't want to make any irrational decisions or, have any blow-ups, so to speak. But I'm kind of seeing that there's something in your throat chakra that you're wanting to communicate, but you're trying to be loving and fair, even though sometimes that can feel like it's to the detriment to your health. So I do feel for you, you're really re-navigating that confidence, that internal balance system in your life, and you're looking at things more with fairness towards yourself, because it's a two-sided coin. So potentially in the past, you empathized, you understood, you felt that if you had clarity with circumstances, that was fine. Now something in that is changing. You're actually looking at the other side of the coin and you're saying, hey, that also applies to myself. So in that context, where is that push-pull dynamic? What do I feel is outdated in my life? And you'll really, really notice a lot of you have changed. And if you haven't, it's definitely going to happen in the month of September 2022, all the way through till October. At the very end of October, we are having Mars retrograde. So for a lot of us, it's almost like I feel the month of September, Virgo, is going to be a pivotal point. It's going to be a reality check. We're going to be looking at what we need to do, how we can re-navigate that, what needs to go from our lives, and, what we need to bring back in. A lot of you also can be very critical on yourself at the moment. So sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes it can be a negative thing. You do have to, which we will move into your wellness through this report. You've got to look after your wellness this month. So be careful not to burn out. Be careful not to overschedule yourself and overcommit. But there also could be a lot of activity happening around your career. Definitely your love life, your career is very active. I would say you're seeing things from different perspectives. Like it's almost like you get other people's perspectives, but your conditioning also, it could be that your psychic energy is growing at this point in time. And I also feel last month, some of you might have been a little bit run down and unwell, and you might have had to have changed things about. This month, I feel you want your image changed. You want your money changed. You want your love life changed. And it can be something that you spiritually doing a little bit of shadow work with and saying, hey, you know, is this a lineage related dynamic? Is the reason why I'm looking at life at this point in time due to some circumstances that happened? I also feel some of you can feel a little bit disillusioned. Some of you are a little bit worried about an individual. This could be through their demeanor, their emotions. And as Virgos, you guys can be empaths, but you can be very logical with it. There can be this guilt factor. I hope this person's not too stressed. I hope they're coping with the circumstance they're going through. But I also feel in your life, you know, many of you have had to work extremely hard to get to where you are, and where it does come to, you know, wounds of the past and you feeling people can be dependable. You particularly may have, you know, for a while, maybe dependent on other people without you really wanting, and then vice versa. But it feels you're really ushering in dependability and you're trying to spiritually come to terms with things that happened in the past. And I don't necessarily feel it's that you haven't. I feel it's more that you're wondering, is that a possibility? Is structure and dependability within connections, within contracts, within life dependable right now? I feel you do need to be careful also in the area of employment, and there can be some sort of a niggly situation going on. It could be a little bit of a bitchy situation going on. So just be careful with that, especially if you feel this person that you're around at the moment in employment is really bugging you. And they're a little bit of gossip mongers, or you feel that you could also critique yourself. You could get to the state you say, hey, am I actually going in the right direction? Spiritually, am I meant to be doing something else right now? Do I need to upskill? Am I taking a role on of being an educator in some shape or form? But something in that is shifting. I feel there can be a lot of negotiations, a lot of communication. I feel you're enjoying the element of being around people, and I feel you are a people person. But also feel be open to learning from other people, and it can just be a statement piece and how they directly deal with adversity and, you know, toxic situations. Now, love in the month of September is going to be pretty unique for all Virgos. This particularly, it's almost the courage. I don't know why I'm hearing it. And this was a book that was given to my daughter many moons ago, a soulmate energy, which I do believe was a twin flame, a feminine energy. This was given to my daughter. It was the term I'm hearing is the courage to be disliked. And I feel sometimes when we're choosing something that's very important for ourselves, sometimes it's almost like, you know, you don't want to be the bad guy, but you also know that certain subjects need broaching. I do feel with this scene, you know, you've been waiting for a while. You've been waiting, you've been analysing, you've been looking at things, you've been viewing it. You know something's going to change, but you also know some hard conversations are going to come with this circumstance. Some of you are wondering why this person is not seeing your side. Some of you, this person is actually seeing your side, but it's this, you know, empath energy that's coming through, that you're empathizing and understanding with them, but you're very, very connected. It can be a very, very spiritual connection. Some of you, I am picking around the 7th, and it is due to the fact Juno is going to make an aspect on the 7th in the House of Pisces. You could have something very heart-centered come up. It's something that might trigger you. I do feel there could be a deep conversation around this time, but I also feel you can have some revelations inside your life of where life is going and how you directly can look at it. I also feel there's something to do with it. I'm going to pull a clarifier. Yours is about the only one really this has come through with. I get that there's something hidden. Right? There's something hidden in the mix of this circumstance with seeing the truth and a perspective. And there's many layers of truth. But there's something that's going on that you feel with this person, and you're having to own your power with them and actually communicate. It could be with a romantic interest. Also, if there is a person around them that is like a superior figure, you're a bit wary of that person. This could be a family member. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hearing the term gold digger. There's something with this person's vibe you're a bit wary about, and I think you're really watching it at this point in time. Yeah, you don't trust them. You do not trust them. Now, I do feel for you guys, you know, you're going to be looking at image changes, where you're going, what you want. I see you radically, almost with the self-esteem coming up. You're going to be very just, but you will expect the same. So providing individuals are going to be very understanding. I do feel people are going to find you quite sexy in the month of September. But I also feel you could be a little bit more reserved. You could be like, yeah, I really want a bit of space. I know where I'm going. The temptation energy does come through for you guys. And I'm also being told to be very careful around pacifiers, which we'll get into in a minute, where it does come to. I've got to go the other way. Where it does come to, this full moon coming, which I'll go into the reasons why. I'm also being shown that with love, these people that are coming back from the past, especially, you can have a lot popping off. You can have something that's unresolved that needs addressing. I also feel from a karmic point of view, if there was a connection that you had previously and it was quite a difficult thing, a bit of shadow work can come up in this area, especially if that person was really toxic. I do feel it's going to come up and you're going to have a light bulb moment of some description. You can see through it. Like, they're really, really thumping this into me at the moment. You really can see through a lie. So if somebody is not being completely transparent with you, you're just literally it's like X-ray vision. You're just going to be able to X-ray vision them, and you're going to be able to deal with the devil in the detail. Those of you that are in a coupledom, there can be a lot shifting and changing at the moment. A lot of your shadow work can come from loved ones that are transcended over. You also psychically may be picking up on those individuals at the moment. They can be very close, very near. You can be seeing things on your peripheral. I also feel some sense of a karmic ending is coming this month. I do feel some of you, that hope and dream to travel. I feel some of that could be temporarily put on the back burner. I do feel it's going to come, but I feel it's more going to be coming in 2023. Some of you can be making some changes in your life around your children, around a school, around a circumstance. Also to do with paperwork. I'm seeing paperwork and a map of what you're going to be doing. There could be children moving out, children moving in, but it just feels where you are right now, it's not going to look like that at the end of the year. It's just going to be very different. I sense this is some difficult decisions that need making, but really a plan that you're making so that you can take the connection forward. Those of you that feel that this connection for a long time hasn't been where it needs to be, I do feel between now and all the way through to October, that is going to go into a negotiation. The full moon, for those of you who are on really shaky ground, you may decide that you want to go your separate ways, but this is more, those that are, it was never there, so to speak. If the willingness is there, it's definitely just going to look totally different. There can be circumstances at the moment that were really causing those dramas, but I do feel those negotiations, those reworking of those situations are very possible for you guys to both see eye to eye with the circumstance and to see it through. I do feel there could be some jealousy that pops up. This can be coming up with the other person. I also feel you're resisting the need to help everyone. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but I feel help everyone. The role in which you had to be versus who you are now, it's changing. And I feel a lot of things are changing in your life. Look, those of you that are twin flames, I also feel you are going to have a lot of psychic downloads this month. You could have psychic attacks. You may tune into emotions. It may be a lot. So you may need to take some space at certain times. You may need to get to a point that you tune out of white noise and clear your crown chakra, upgrade your aura, and do things that are going to protect yourself. But I'll dive deeper into the tips that I feel should be there for you in the wellness update shortly. All right, heavy cross to bear. I feel there's a lot from an empath point of view. There's an old wound that you've been niggling at, and some of you might even know what it is, but it's going to come up very quickly. It's going to come up very quickly. It's going to open your third eye. And I'm hearing, you know, decalcification of the third eye, keep the fluids up, research how to do such, but it's also, it generally comes through a purge. So when we're actually opening the third eye and the crown chakra, you know, the ascension through the Kundalini can go up and down. And I kind of get with you guys in particular, you're having an aggressive kind of activation, so to speak. And, you know, sometimes what can happen in that ascension process is that it stalls because the pain body can't, you know, the body can't experience any more of that energy anymore. So it moves towards suppressing it, dropping it down so you can recoup, recover, especially if you've been unwell. You tend to find your ascension will dissipate to a degree. But then as you kind of proceed forward through your awakening, a part of it, because it's always a process, you'll find that that ascension process is going to get to a stage where you'll have to manage all energy point blank zero. So you'll be tapping into the collective, you'll be tapping into your twin, you'll be feeling everyone's energy, and it'll become really overwhelming. And the purge can be super heavy. Pardon me. Then it can come to a stage where you acknowledge it, you flush it, and you push it out, and you don't own it. And that's the key to it. That's where the highest octane of that transformation of that energy is coming from. But I definitely feel you could be astro traveling, you could be opening it near the full moon in Pisces. I would be careful. Okay, it's a great time to avoid pacifiers. It's a great time to do cord cutting with the karmics and to avoid those things that you're thinking and just release and, you know, protect your aura, so to speak. Good time to eat really light. And for your wellness this month, due to the fact you're Virgo and it is Mercury retrograde with a lot of placements in the Mercury-related dynamic, you really, over the next 8 months, do need to care for yourself. Mars will be moving retrograde. So if you directly find that your schedule or your commitments or your stress levels are way too much on your shoulders, this is a great time to say, okay, what do I need to drop? You know, a little bit like a diamond. What is coming up for me that is just simply not working anymore? Is it food? Is it a daily routine? Is it a thought process? Do I need to get some coaching or counseling? What is that? What is going to work for me to get me where I need to be in my life? But I do feel you making some very, very hard decisions in the mix. Emotionally, this also can be a brand new chapter where it does come to your love life, but I definitely see a lot of you all of a sudden wanting to get fit, wanting to change your image, wanting to eat healthy. Now, one thing I will say is the temptation for pacifiers will be higher about a week to a week after the full moon in Pisces. You also do need to care for your heart chakra because it does relate to Venus and it is linking to your second house. So you may find all of a sudden you're eating a lot and then going off your food. You could be quite verbal and then very passive. So just give yourself a couple of days either side. A lot of what is going to play out in the month of September is initially going to feel like you gospelly know how it's going to go. And then you could do a 360 and go, I'm really not so sure about this. So just be okay with that. Try to have a rough guide of what you think needs to go and what needs to stay. And as you move through, you're going to have more revelations and you'll find deeper, clearer ways of how to best address such. So yes, the full moon is occurring on the 10th, around the 9th to the 10th of September. We also simultaneously have Mercury moving retrograde in Libra. It will dip back into Virgo. So subjects to do with you and your second house are going to come up. I also feel family-related dynamics can pop off during that time because moon does, in general, point blank zero, relate to home and family. It's a good time to clear the house. It's a good time to protect yourself, put salt on your door, do the things that you spiritually feel are going to protect that environment and stay very present. Not a great time to try different things that connect you to Gaia because what we're doing is releasing, detoxing, allowing universe. You know, the further into your ascension you get, you will not wish to manifest because you know universe has your back. So you don't get your ego involved in it. You allow those things to come to you very naturally because they're all part of the blessings and the lessons, and you'll detach a lot more. You can have blasts from the past coming back. Try not to avoid those things. Try to be open to it. A lot of it can be healing and cord cutting. Some of it can also be opportunities to reconcile and get back on track and make firm plans. But this can be a very positive time for reworking things and for you at a personal level, Virgo. Take care. If you want a private booking, the link is directly below. I may do mid-month, so stay tuned. And I will see you throughout the month for the twin flame updates. Take care, guys.